All right, I am off to PAX Unplugged. As you can see, I am driving, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera because that's not safe. I just left my house. I live in Provo, Utah, and I am driving to PAX Unplugged. Part of my reason for driving instead of flying, normally I would fly because, of course, Philadelphia is on the other side of the country. But the reason why I am driving this time is because I have a lot of things, as you can see in the back here, a lot of things that I needed to bring out, and with the way logistics are, it's very difficult to be able to schedule a pickup of a pallet from a residential area and have it delivered with a precise delivery date of December 8th or 9th in order to basically be there on time for me to have it at the booth for setup and so forth. So it is currently Sunday afternoon, just before 4 p.m. And I've started my drive out to Philadelphia. It's about a 31, 32 hour drive there, but I've given myself plenty of time. I've also driven not all the way to Philadelphia, but I've driven to Chicago numerous times, so I'm familiar with that route and that length of driving and so forth. But I've given myself multiple days to get there, so that I don't, so that I'm driving safely without exhausting myself, and making sure that I can get to Philadelphia safely. I will be vlogging a little bit from this trip. This is, of course, the beginning of that vlog, and I will, probably check back in with you throughout the night and so forth. So stay with me. Hopefully the weather should be nice. I've looked at the weather forecast. Of course, here in Utah right now, it is about 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is about 16 degrees Celsius. So the weather is really nice. Normally this time of year we would have had the first snow. There is some snow up in the mountains. I can't really show that to you from this angle. But normally we would have had some snow even down here in the city. But the ground is bare. The weather is really nice during the day. I also expect most of the drive out to be good based on the weather forecast. So I will check back in with you, and if you're coming to PAX Unplugged, I will see you there. I am now in Salt Lake City, which is really a collection of basically the greater Salt Lake area is a collection of different cities. I will soon be making a turn east onto Interstate 80, which will take me towards, it will take me through Wyoming, Nebraska, Illinois, and so forth. Now, I haven't really talked about what the plan is as far as the drive goes. My hope is that I'll be able to make it to Des Moines, Iowa, before stopping. That's basically the halfway point. I enjoy driving at night, so basically if I can make it that far, I would be driving through the night and get to Des Moines, Iowa in the morning. So we will see if I can get that far. That would be ideal. And now I am leaving the Salt Lake Valley area, basically heading up a canyon towards Park City. This is a very beautiful drive, very beautiful area. I wish I could show you more of it, but like I said, I am driving, so will not be showing you around. But basically, so this the Park City area, as well as the eastern part of the Salt Lake Valley in the mountains, that's where you have a lot of the ski resorts. You have the Snowbird and Alta ski resorts. This is, of course, when the Winter Olympics were held in Salt Lake City. Up here in these mountains, that's where a lot of the alpine events took place. Again, this is a very beautiful area. I don't know if you can see kind of behind me as I'm going up through the mountains. The road is winding up here through the mountains, gaining altitude. So this is especially during the summer months. This is a very beautiful drive. Right now, of course, it's later in the year. You can even detect a bit of a sunset there behind me. Like I said, I do enjoy driving in the evening and at night, so looking forward to that. Eventually, as I get to the other side of this high mountain plateau, I guess you could call it, you can of course still see behind me that there are a lot of hills and mountains and such, but I'm much closer to the peaks now than before when I was down in the valley. Once I get a little bit closer to the Wyoming side, then I will be heading down again, and this will be basically the beginning of the prairie of the United States. Of course, at this higher altitude, the temperature has also gone down. Of course, added to that the fact that it's later in the day. So right now it's about 39 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 4 degrees Celsius. Of course, Utah has suffered from drought, like much of the western United States, last couple of years. And of course, the late arrival of snow is not going to help this year either. We will see if we get a proper snowpack and snowfall in the mountains. Then hopefully that will help us avoid the drought next year. And I just crossed the border between Utah and Wyoming. So that means that I have now stopped in Evanston, Wyoming, which is just a couple of miles from the Wyoming-Utah border. This is also the place, if you were headed towards Yellowstone National Park, you would be turning north at this point. All right, after a quick fuel stop, I am now continuing onward with the next stop being Cheyenne. Just stopping for gas, gonna grab a little bit to eat. The trip has been fairly uneventful so far. It's of course late now, so that means that temperature has gone down considerably. Right now it's a little bit warmer than it was just a little bit ago, but this part of Wyoming that I was driving through, the temperature was about 6 degrees, which is almost negative 15 Celsius. There was also some black ice warning on the interstate. A little bit of, not necessarily snow, more of a definite icier crystals that were coming down. It wasn't a lot, just a little bit of a flurry. But otherwise, yeah, the trip has been fairly uneventful. The vehicle is performing well. I'm feeling awake and alert. Just need a little bit of food in me. And the next stop will be North Platte, Nebraska, where I was able to get some rest and found daylight. As always, when you're driving long distances, it's important to not drive farther than you can handle. Don't push yourself. Like I'd said earlier, I was hoping to maybe make it a little bit farther depending on how tired I would get. But North Platte was basically the place where I said, you know what, it's best if I stop here and I get some rest for the night and so forth. So now I'm rested. I just had some breakfast and I am heading out again. Weather is nice. I am really glad that I left Sunday afternoon rather than Monday morning, because there are some pretty strong crosswinds forecasted for Wyoming today, and of course I already drove through Wyoming last night. So yeah, next stop will be America's Heartland, which is really where a lot of the crops and such are grown in this area. This is the middle of Nebraska, So this is where a lot of the food comes from, and they have everything from various grains, and there's cattle farming, pig farming, and so forth. Of course, everywhere where you're driving, you see a lot of the fields and a lot of the agricultural industry that is common here in Nebraska. I am not far from Omaha right now, so I will check back with you at the next stop, which is going to be, unsurprisingly, Omaha. So that means that I am on the very eastern edge of the state, about to cross one of the great rivers and enter Iowa, and am headed for Des Moines, which will be my next refueling and probably dinner stop, after which I will continue through the state. I don't anticipate stopping in Iowa for the night, but rather continuing on. So stay with me, because the next stop is going to be Des Moines. I refueled. I am now having something to eat. Well, not right now, but I will in a moment. And then it is on towards adventure, with the night zipping by. Again, this is my preferred time of day to be driving, or rather when it's dark outside. So I will check back with you at the next stop, which is Philadelphia. Actually, that's not entirely true. I did make a couple stops along the way. I stopped in Indiana for the night, and then from there I drove through, of course, the rest of Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and such yesterday morning, and then basically last night around 8 p.m. I arrived in Philadelphia, and went straight to the hotel and went straight to bed, because it was a very long drive. Basically, I left my house Sunday, and 50 hours later I arrived in Philadelphia, which is about a 32-hour drive. So basically I drove and slept twice, and yeah, that was basically the extent of the trip here. This morning I went to the convention center just to, the main reason for driving here was, of course, because I had things that needed to be dropped off. So I did that. It was not a very long wait to get in. Of course, I don't have the entire booth with me in the van. I only had the portion of it that was basically at my house. So the rest of it should be arriving today from our, well, today or tomorrow, from our distributor. Later today, this afternoon, around 4 o'clock or so, Dave Luza should be arriving. So that will be exciting. Looking forward to seeing him as well. Other than that, I'm off to get some breakfast. I'm going to stop at the Reading Terminal Market to eat some food. Got tagged today as an exhibitor, so things are looking official. That will be the end of this video. Thank you for staying with me and for following me on this journey to PAX Unplugged. The next video will be, like I said, more about booth setup and so forth, and then I will show you around the convention. We will talk to a few people as well and such, so stay tuned for that, and until then, have a wonderful day.